Okay, welcome to this webinar. Are you sick and tired of choosing the wrong employees? If you are, this is the right place to be. Today, we'll have someone that is very knowledgeable in the area of coaching, and I will present her after presenting myself. My name is Pedro Ferreira. I'm a marketing mentor, and I'm here to host this webinar. The person that is going to talk to us, she's a businesswoman. She already had role as a director, and she was responsible for more than 30 million euros P&L. And besides that, she's happily married, and she has two beautiful young babies. I love them. They are fantastic. And besides that, she has a master's degree in coaching. She's a master's too in coaching, and she's really well qualified to do what she's doing, which is helping others to reach what they want to achieve in their career. Her name is Sybile Pomere, and she's really happy when she sees her clients thriving. So let's welcome Sybile. Hi, Sybile, how are you doing today?
Thanks a lot, Pedro. I'm very well. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a beautiful winter summer that we have here. I'm currently in the Netherlands, so hopefully you are all having a good time. Maybe some of you are on holidays or having a long day behind you and you're a bit tired, but thanks a lot for taking the time of joining us tonight. I will also like you, if you want to take any photos during the little live of tonight, I will have some slides like that I will just show you. And yes, so feel free to do so. Yeah, that's good for now. I think we can start, Pedro.
Yes, Sybile, I leave you to make your presentation. Surprise us as always. Thank you, Sybile.
Thank you. So tonight it's about the importance of picking the right employees and why is it so hard. We all go through a normal process when we hire somebody. We might put job offers on some websites and team up with some unemployment companies and so forth. But at the end of the day, what do we check? We check the CV, we check the motivation letter, and we run a set of interviews. Some of us run a few tests, and some of us don't even do so. And it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But what matters to us at this very moment is if it's working or not. And if it's working for you, then you as an employer and the employee or your colleague working with you are both happy and you're up for a long journey together. And this is fantastic. I wish you the very best for that. And if you're not so lucky and maybe it's only happening with one or two people that you have hired, it must be that you are missing a few pieces of the puzzle. And I'm here tonight to help you out with some of them. So how does it look like when it's not matching? When it's not matching, you both have trouble to adapt to each other. The new employee often has trouble to adapt to his new work environment. So it's a mismatch. It's making you lose time, money, effort, energy, and you are frustrated at the end of the day. And in some cases, you cannot be bothered to do it all over again because maybe you're located a bit outside and therefore it's hard to find people who will work in your location. So you're eccentric. Or maybe it's just hard to find some people for this position altogether. So you end up working with somebody where you could have maybe somebody else instead. So this is for you. This is the first slide. Okay. So where does mismatch come from? From what I could see so far, they're coming from mostly three places, can be more. but a job description that was not explicit enough. So basically, there is on the job description missing some important key functions that the employee will have to cover. And yes, as a director, I also made this mistake. I was like, okay, I need somebody to fill this position, but what does it involve at the end of the day? It's not just the broad line. I was responsible also for a commercial department. And yeah, I need a commercial. That's not it, you know. I need somebody who has this, and this, and this feature. And this is what we need. And this is not only technical features, and this is where we often make a mistake. Technical features, you can have them, the HR people can help you out with them, and this is fantastic. You are not alone to do that. And what about all the human feature that could be missing? I will go further on that a little bit along the way, so wait a little. So a second point could be the lack of guidance on your side. I've seen many times, and I keep seeing colleagues who just join a company and they are left with a pile of work and they don't really know what to do with it. They don't see. Sometimes they are acquainted with some system that might be used in the company, sometimes not, and it's okay when it's a job that requires a lot of how should I say. A lot of directive, a lot of independence, and so forth. It's important that they are guided through from day one, because what's happening is if you lose an employee motivation, which might be what is happening because you are running like crazy, then it may be better if somebody mentors it for a few days and then you take over whenever you can. And this way the people stays involved and grows with you and the company. So that was the second point. The third point is, well, we've met this person, we had a run of interviews, the HR people are happy, I'm happy, and bang, the contract is signed and the person has changed. So how do we bridge that? So this is unfortunately happening so often. The people are not there to show that they are enthusiastic about the position. They are just there for their payroll at the end of the day, and their motivation go down because it's not challenging anymore to run those interviews and to pass all those tests. You just got the job, so you are in the safe zone, and that's it, which is very disappointed for us. Yeah, that's good. So I will not spend any time today to go over technical competencies because every business is different, and I don't know everything. And the other part I will not cover is the experience, because it's also quite easy to check it up. You can easily call them on all employers, and you can have them doing some small tests and so forth. So that you don't need me for. What I would rather go on with is the attributes that you might be looking in an employee, and that maybe you missed one or two, and there are more than the one that I will share with you tonight, which are way above 10. So I try not to miss any, because for me those are quite important. It's the human side, and this is the heart of a company. If there are no humans, there are no companies. And therefore, we should value all the humans' traits before the experience and before the skills, technical competencies that they might have. And the reason is that people have to work together. They have to be one as a team. They have to be one within that department, to be one with the whole companies. So this is one way also to unify everybody. It's to put them back all together. And for that, you need social people. So I will go over that in a moment. So the first one I love, this is resilience. So basically, what does that mean? We all know it. We've heard about it. We are getting better at it every day because we are working on it. It's okay. I have a problem. Okay, I have 2 minutes to say, okay, crap, what's happening to me, and then move on. Basically, problem-solving mindset is what we are looking for in this case. So they need to be independent and not to be afraid to redo a job that they already did, but was not the right way. So they have to do it from another angle and move on with it. Basically, we have no time to waste nowadays. So another point, which I think is extremely good for both employer and employees, honesty. And this is what I talked about before. When an employee sign a contract and now is hired for forever and stops being motivated, doesn't do the job that he wants to do, and so forth, he was not honest with you. So honesty is something that should be encouraged from both the employer and the employee. And by that, that means that when you hire somebody and you ask, hey, the famous question, what is your default or your biggest default? Then we are trained to say, okay, this is a default that matches and a quality and a default, and you can have them in both areas. But this is not like that. This is not honest. This is not to be honest. If you are not good in something, you may as well put it, serve it up, and being done with it, because at some point it will show out anyhow on your work one day sooner or later, and that would be more detrimental than at the beginning. And that goes both ways, if you are undergoing a fusion, or if for example there is some problem in the existing team that this colleague of yours will join, be honest, be about that. If you say, okay, I take you in, I will take your hand and train you, and you don't have time for it, please tell them, because it's super important that the situation is clear to start with. Therefore, there is no misunderstanding, and you can go a long way together. And this is what we're aiming for. So you want something that love growing and that is adaptable. Basically, in today's society, we see it extremely well with the stupid COVID and all those rules and regulations that keep changing from one country to the next, giving a nightmare of a headache for many companies, because you need to adapt almost on a daily basis. If you export products and so forth, we saw it at the beginning of the crisis, that was also restricted. Now it's open, and then some countries are stepping aside. We see it with Great Britain and so forth. So there are so many aspects in the society, despite internet, that we saw really 10 or 15 years ago. Nowadays, we have to move and adapt extremely quickly. So you want somebody to be a bit versatile here. And another reason why you want that is because one day the person might have a good job that is adapted to the current market, but it could be that within 2 or 3 years his job is obsolete, and you just hire this person for this job because it was a booming job at the time and you needed somebody for this position. So this is my third point. And therefore, somebody eager to learn. You need somebody who wants to learn, to improve himself, to improve his skills, and basically to stay on the top of the game. I'm just going through my note quickly to make sure I didn't. Voilà. So I just want to make sure I give you all the points, so I'm just checking. So something also that is quite important is for your colleagues to have some idea about or some sense about self-care. What do I mean by that? You have people who present very well and look amazing, but are empty inside, or you have people who eat junk food, or I think you got a bit the age. So basically, if somebody has very bad food habits or and is overweight, way above normal, or is smoking every 5 minutes, or things like that, it's make it very, very complicated because I used to be a smoker, so don't give it, don't put it to me. But basically, what's happening is when you go on break every 5 minutes, and then your coworkers are working during this time, it's not working very well for the team because it's not fair. And as an employer, the fairer we are, the better it is for everybody. So this is one thing. And when you don't take care of your inside of what you eat, what you drink, you don't have to be a health freak. You just have to make sure that you can still operate correctly. This is good because if you have somebody basically who is in your company who eats very poorly, at some point it catches all the diseases that are about, and then you have to pay sick leaves. That's a pain. And also, what about this job? Because at the end of the day, what we're the most interested in too is to see the job that they do. And if they do take care of themselves only from the outside and not from the inside, what do you think that might happen to the job? I think that they are very likely to do the same with the job. That it might look fabulous on paper, and at the end of the day, if you look deeply into it, then the work is halfway done, and this is also not something that you will be so pleased with. So something that is also important is as a life balance. If you hire a workaholic, and I know many of those, then they are good, they are up and running for a couple of years if you're lucky, and then they start to break down bit by bit. And therefore, you have two options there. You can either support them and make sure that their workload is not too big, but it will be better if they have some type of balance, because it's not sustainable in the long run. So it's either you who put yourself with this burden on your shoulder, because it's hard to stop somebody who likes to do his job very well and has only that in its life. And I think it's a bit sad, but some people are like that, and it's okay. Some people can be driven by different things. I think this is also very good that we have hard people working with us. So here you are, the slide. You see everything? Yes. Very well. So this is a very basic one to follow. This is motivation. I'm not going to explain to you what motivation is, but it's good when people are always looking for the way to improve their job. And this is usually motivated people that do that. And they like to find solutions on their own, saving you what is most important to you, time. So this is the reason why I love motivation, because they're eager to learn, eager to grow. Sometimes they take some risk, and sometimes it's paying off, and this is wonderful. And if not, this is also wonderful, because I will learn from it and not repeat the mistake again. We need some people who are focusing on the end goal. What do I mean by that? It's even if they are only part, and mostly it is like that. We don't achieve, for example, so million of sales alone. We We need people in the factory to do the products or to invent the service. We need people. We need sales teams. We need maybe marketing people to help us out. So basically, the idea is to work as a team also on this level, you know, and therefore. It's good if people really see the global picture and are not only, you know, okay, this is my task and I'll only focus on my task because this is what I'm paying for. And I think this is unfortunately something that employers have been doing for so many decades and centuries. We see it with Ford. You're a screwer, basically. We saw it with Charlie Chaplin, and this is all that you do. This time is not is long past, especially in the service industry. I see it also mostly with factories, because we have a lot of robots who are here to take over the redundant tasks. So we do have people who have to think along, have to do their job to reach a common goal. So this is for me very important. One that we too often miss out is loyalty. And why do we miss out about it? Basically, we see it very often. You have piles of CV. I don't know about you, but I had so many times piles of CV coming in almost every day. Spontaneous motivation letter and so forth. And yes, basically you check it up and you have, okay, I've been working here for 1 year and there for another 2 years and here for 1 year. Do you think those people are loyal to the company? No, they are not. And how did we manage to then overcome that? We introduced the competitive clause in many hiring contracts. And this is artificial and it is not working. You can have it for one year, 2 or 3 years, but this is not how you retain your employees. And this is what I would love to see more often, is companies who are just, you know, surrounded by loyal people because they made the workplace such an enjoyable workplace in comparison to the others in their industry. I will go back on it a bit later. We want somebody who is working well under pressure. Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean, and why do I raise it right now? I will do a little bit of neuroscience with you. So basically what's happening is when we have a problem coming up our way or a lot of pressure, then we're not able to think anymore, because the emotional part of our brain is taking over. So we need somebody who is a bit ahead in this field, who is, okay, we have this is urgent, this is a big issue, whatever situation is, okay, I stay calm so I can think and find solutions and act quickly, accordingly, and not randomly, because I don't know how to think anymore, because I'm just submerged by emotions. So this is for me extremely important, to keep at all time people with their brain turned on. So yeah, this is for me extremely good. Another point, and that's actually quite fun. I talked about it with one of my best friends yesterday, and I was telling him about this interview tonight, and he said to me, "Oh, but Sybile, look at this case happening to me recently." And so I'm going to share that with you. It's perfectionist people or not perfectionist people. And we always think that we want work well done. We know the rule of 80% 20, so we do it 80% good, 20% a bit less, and off we go, next task. And I must say, yeah, I agreed with him, but not completely, because if you need your little hands to make watches that we see a lot in Switzerland, for example, you need to have a perfectionist worker working for you, isn't it? So, depending of your line of work, depending on the position of your of the person that you want to hire, then you might want a perfectionist or not a perfectionist. Then I'll let you be the judge of that. But for a regular office position, I would recommend not perfectionist. Somebody who likes a job well done is good. It's brilliant. So it doesn't work for 15 hours on something that can be done in 3 hours. So this is one thing. And something that also, if you take a perfectionist for example, as I said, an office job, what's happening is if the job is not well made, and therefore has to be redone or made perfectly for him or her, but not for you or not for what you wanted this time or so forth, they will blame themselves. They will possibly start finding other people to blame within the team, and they can create a negative atmosphere, at least for a while. So this is also something that we want to avoid. The whole idea is to be, how should I say, positive company. Maybe not, but at least to have a good atmosphere so people are comfortable to work and to strive, which is what we want. So they need to have a sense of responsibility. I've mentioned it quickly earlier on. They need to own their task. I did this point with Pedro. I did an interview on it. So that was about delegation and some new way of delegating. So if you need the link, I think Pedro will be more than happy to share it with you. Maybe at the bottom, it's on YouTube anyhow, so you will find it, and we will bring it to you a bit later on. But basically, sense of responsibility. Everybody is responsible for their job. Okay, I'm responsible to do my job, and then what is behind that? Basically, being responsible is also making sure it fits the global picture. I do my task. Let's see if the stage above and the stage below me are also working well with what I did, or if the whole process is making sense. So that leaves me to one of the last points for the attributes. So we need a team worker, somebody with developed social skills. Why so? Because we can always outsource expert work. What we cannot outsource is what we have in the company, the vibe, the energy, the culture, because that's defining the company, the business owners, but also has a big impact on the clients. We see it nowadays, a company that does a bit of green and have quite an open mindset is attracting way more people, way more clients than some other companies. So we do it for ourselves to be also happy to be in the work environment, but we do it for our team, and we do it for our clients. So that's it. That was my last attributes. As you might be aware, many of them can be found in emotional intelligence tests. So we have often emotional intelligence. There are a few running nowadays in several countries. I will not guide you through it because you might have a preference already, and it's absolutely fine. I'm somehow, on the other hand, working with something even greater than that. But I'm still not done with the analysis of the test, so I will not reveal anything now. But if you're interested to have something even better than emotional intelligence tests, reach out to me. You are probably already a LinkedIn friend, and here below is my website, my address email. Sorry. So please feel free to reach out. So basically, what do? We have the emotional intelligence, we have the set of interviews. The better you meet the future candidate, the most chances you have of knowing who he is, what you are also providing and hoping to get as a service, as a work, and the better you two can be matched. So don't be afraid to run another interview. You already had two, you want a third one, just go for it. It also shows determination. Of course, you need to have material to speak about, to focus upon during the meeting. But it's better to have one too many than to end up with a work partner that is a bit so-so. Okay, so that's good. What is also very good is, and very, very important, is to listen to your gut feeling, because you're almost never wrong, if not to say never wrong. And you need to trust yourself very much on that. But watch out, you are not hiring your best friend. You might connect very, very well, and you are going to say, hey, Sybile, you are going against what you just said before, but no, listen to me. You can go very well with somebody on a human level, and then on the work level, there is no common space. And basically, what do you do then? You just hire the friend. So be friend with this person, but make sure he doesn't set foot in your company. It's a bit like having your, marrying your spouse or having just a friend outside. It's definitely not the same connection, definitely not the same job description, nothing. So I just say, watch out for that. But you might win a new friend. So this is also very good. Okay, I'm not going to mention any companies for this last part, but there are many companies who are extremely good at setting a very catchy work environment, and therefore they were attracting many employees or potential employees, and in this lot, obviously, there were some pearls. So if you manage, if you're not already somebody who is striving in the sense of, okay, I have a good atmosphere, my people are happy, I'm known in this industry, in this country, blah, 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 then I suggest that you start working on it. And I'll be more than happy to take you along the way. So this is it for me tonight. I'm just showing 2 more slides here that I had, 2 more papers. So the mistakes to avoid, because I mentioned them before, I'm not spending any time photos. And then the last one, become an employee magnet, which is what we need from you. Thank you very much for your time. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Okay, Sybille, thank you very much for your contribution. I think the topics you brought us today were very relevant, and they have a huge impact on companies. And if we don't really select the right people, it's um, it's it's not good. I had also experience as a person that was responsible for hiring other colleagues, and I know how important it is to have the right people on board. So thank you very much for your um, for what you brought us in terms of information and ways to approach employee enrollment. I don't know if someone has a question or would like to ask a question to you. We still have someone online.
So I will just add up something quickly.
Okay.
Basically, the person can ask you meanwhile, but I just wanted to say those are generics, attributes, generic rules, and each company is different. Each business owners, each CEO manager is different, and therefore, okay, you can pick one or two things that I shared with you tonight, and that will be fantastic if you can apply them. If you want a much deeper look into your current position, please reach out. I will be more than happy to help you.
Yes, Sibyl, thank you very much once more. We'll leave Sibyl's contact here under. This is not directly to her, but it's to the team of Sibyl. And if you qualify to work with her, definitely we she can have a call with you. So all good wishes and hope to see you in the near future. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.